Okay, Ian. So thank you for joining me today and for sharing your time. I really appreciate it.
No, you're welcome.
So as I was explaining, like the point of doing these videos really is to try and let people who maybe aren't into yoga or even think maybe they're thinking about doing teacher training, how it's for everybody. And you don't have to have had yoga kind of passed down in your family, and you don't have to have been doing it forever and ever. So I think it's really nice just to kind of speak to some of the teachers at the studio and find out their journey. And I mean, we've known each other for years now, and I know a bit about your journey because I remember,
Mm.
like, I remember you coming to some of my David Lloyd classes, which were like some of my first ever classes.
Yes,
And that will be, gosh, it must be 7, 8 years ago now.
more than that.
More than that, yeah.
Yeah.
And you weren't teaching then, were you? And
No.
I really remember it. I literally remember the conversation we had at the end of one class, and you said, "I'm thinking about doing my teacher training. Yeah, I think I'm going to go and do it in India." And you weren't sure, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Do it." I was like, "You'll be amazing," and you were like umming and ahhing. And so now, like, well, I'll let you talk about it a little bit. So when did you get into yoga, Ian, and what has been your journey?
So I got into yoga quite late, really. I was probably 45 years old
Yeah.
when I got into yoga. But previous before that, I always been doing like gym stuff, or I've been doing stretching at some point, like a body balance it was back then, Les Mills, which I quite enjoyed. It's kind of yoga-y kind of stuff and that. And my first yoga class was a hot yoga class, 40 degrees. And I thought, oh, wow, this is good. I love it. Bit of heat and everything like that, and sweat and that. So I did that for a few times or a few years and that, like really, or maybe a year, no, I'd say. And then I was dabbing in and doing other bits of yoga as well, some vinyasa, some power yoga, a bit of Iyengar. And and then it wasn't until I found Ashtanga,
Mm.
which was back probably over 10, 12 years ago, that was now. And why did I like Ashtanga? I liked it for the grounding.
Mm.
And I think that's what I needed. I needed some stability. I needed some grounding in my life, where I could just set on the mat, step on it. I knew what the poses were, and I could either do an hour, hour and a half, or a full sequence. And I like the rigid of it all as well, like the knowing where you were going with that, knowing that you didn't have no distractions. And for me, it was a meditative practice for me, and that's what I needed. I had a lot of distractions going on in my life, and I needed to come away from them. And coming to yoga has helped me massively, humongously. Not as much as I would say as I'm getting older, doing the asana practices now. It's going into something to do a little bit more meditation now, really. I think as you get older, you come away from being the big physical stuff. I need to do this. I got to do that. Where the body won't allow that eventually. That elasticity in the body starts to go, unfortunately. But I'm 60 and I'm still doing it. I'm 60 years old, and I'm in probably the best health ever now, like really. So that's where I am. Shall we carry on where I did my training and
Yeah,
that?
I do.
Yeah, okay. So you were my inspiration
Oh
for
no.
telling me to go and do my training, but I didn't de- I didn't go into it very quickly then. So I've probably been doing yoga probably for 4 years and that then. So I wanted to find me a little bit more of before I did want to teach. I wanted to find what was I going to teach? What kind of yoga was I going to teach? So I didn't want to rush into that. Like really, I wanted to find a sense of who I was
Mm.
before I can bring that knowledge and pass that on to the students or whatever I was going to do with it. So I went to India. I went to the heart of India, Ashtanga, which was Mysore, and I studied with the oldest Ashtanga teacher still on this planet today. I think he's 99 now, which was B&S Iyengar. And he was a lovely man, a really nice man. So I did 5 weeks there, and I thoroughly enjoyed every day of it. Every day. I didn't want to come home, to be honest.
Mm.
It was that good. So yes, so I did my 5 weeks. Obviously, did my accreditation of 200 hours. Learned a lot. There was a lot to be learned in that. We had breaks in that, which was good. Going back on other stuff, and I've been back there to see him only once since then, which I've really enjoyed going back to see him again because it's nice to go back to see teachers accredited as that and with his knowledge, what what you can get off him. And I've done a lot online with him as well, and that was through COVID.
Yeah.
Where I did a lot online, which was good. Pranayama, we did. We went over the sutras and that, and it was really good. It was, and all that stuff. What you do get is then what you pass that knowledge on to your students, which is important. Yeah, that's where I am for that little bit at the moment.
It's amazing, Ian. Like, I mean, you get a sense, I get a sense when I meet people of like what style of training would be best for them. And India always kind of called you, didn't it? And
Yeah,
there's like every single training is different, as it should be, right? There's no like one size fits all. And my experience has been, because we often get people that come, they might do our 200-hour training and they've already done 200-hour training somewhere, or
mm,
I've kind of spoken to lots of people who've done lots of different trainings, and in India you get this beautiful traditional, like really authentic, sometimes directly from the lineage, like you've experienced,
yeah,
teacher training, and sometimes it can focus, and I don't know because I didn't know yours individually, but focus quite a lot on alignment,
mm,
anatomy, and in that way it's quite traditional. I find trainings in the West are different in the way that sometimes they're a bit more psychology based, like ours is a lot about
yeah,
like self-development.
yes,
And so what happens then, often we do our trainings and then people, of course, Yoga Alliance say you have to have this amount of anatomy and you have to have this amount of accuracy of
yes,
poses and you have to do all of that. But then those who want to go off and specialize in anatomy, maybe they go and then deepen their training. And
yes,
often what happens is people who come back from India deepen their training in a different way, and they then want to come more into the self-exploratory, the self-development, the psychology side of things, which
yeah,
is what I'm
yeah.
hearing from you now.
Yeah, definitely. I would say definitely from what you learn from the East is totally different a little bit
Yeah.
from the West, where and that's why I wanted to go to the East
Mm.
to learn their side of their philosophy and that of to what ours is on the West, and yeah, there's a lot to take in from the East. What they give you, and like you said, I wanted that full richness from. I wanted to feel it. I wanted to smell it, and I did.
Mm.
And the sense of it of just drawing everything in what they could give me that knowledge of from scholars and that like really which very hard to get where in the West an Eastern scholar and to get that was just amazing like for me and that and I'll never I won't forget that experience. And like you said, where you want to advance in your training, which I'm doing at the moment. I'm doing my 300 hours down in Cheltenham with Ian.
Yeah.
Still, I'm on my third year.
Me too.
Never get it because he does it. You do your modules and that with him, and then he has specialist sessions you got to do as well, like really to make up. And if there's specialist sessions which he's got on and they're not resonating with me, I'm not going to do them or not use it. It's just to get a certificate. It's a total waste of time.
Yeah.
I'm wasting my money and that on doing that. So I'm nearly there for that. So another more hours on the plate and that like really, which is knowledge what you need. The 200 hours is just
Yeah.
it's just a turning of the page.
Yeah.
You're on page one and that's it. It's you got to keep developing. That's why I'll come back from Tenerife, and that was a learning process. 2.5 hours every day of practice, 2.5 hours, 3 hours of workshops in the afternoon, and then another workshop of pranayama and chanting. So we had 5-6 hours every day. It's a lot to get in. That is like a TT in itself.
Yeah.
But it was great because we learned a lot from it, and that knowledge, what I get when I go away, the students know that when I come back,
Yeah.
they go, "Oh my God, what is he going to bring in today?
Yeah.
What's he bringing in this week?" Because they get more excited than I do. that what I bring in, and I think, oh no, this is new. We haven't done this
But
before.
that's what I
I
was going
like
to say.
this.
What is so beautiful about teaching, and when teachers go off to real quality trainings, whatever trainings they are, they come back to the studio with that knowledge. Like,
Yeah,
and the students just soak it all up, don't
yeah,
they? Like,
yeah,
they
they
just
do.
love it. And
Yeah,
I'm so glad you said that about the 200 hour, because a lot of people, worry when they are coming near the end of their 200 hour, like, but I don't teach like this studio, this teacher yet. And I'm like,
yeah,
because they've been teaching for 10 years, like
yeah, yeah,
10,000 hours to mastery. It's a
yeah,
200-hour training. Like, you're
yeah,
a puppy. Like, you come out safe and hopefully you
yes,
come out confident. And that's,
yeah,
our responsibility to help you get there.
it
But
is.
experience wise and, your personal skill set and where you're going to take it, I mean, you're
Mm,
right. It's just the first building block, isn't it? So it's lovely
yeah,
to watch people develop their journeys afterwards. And always remember what Prachi, and I know you love Prachi too, because
yeah,
we were so lucky that she came over from Rishikesh. She was teaching at the
yeah.
studio, and actually, we've got lots of her content on the teacher training, which is
Oh,
really,
brilliant.
again, that real traditional, rich
Yes,
content and the history of yoga and the sutras.
yeah,
She explains all, which is beautiful. And she said, we were talking about cultural appropriation and how, like, what I was really curious, what did she think about kind of the westernized form of yoga? And she was like, yoga is no one's to own, and if it's being used in a way that is to help people, then it's always a great thing. And this phrase she said all rivers lead to the same ocean. And I was like, isn't that beautiful?
yeah, it
Like,
is. Yeah,
that's how it feels
yeah,
when we talk, and we talk about all these different trainings that we've
yeah,
done, that we bring, all comes to the same ocean. And the beautiful thing about the studio is that everyone kind of dips into where we are at that point in our
yes,
journey.
yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, it's been like such a joy to watch you evolve in your teaching as
yeah,
well. And
yeah.
like the students just rave about you at the studio. Like, what would they do? You've got such a tight-knit group, haven't you, in your
Yeah,
Ashtangis?
yeah, it is tight. Yeah,
It's amazing. And the
yeah,
thing is that I think Ashtanga, and maybe you don't hear this because you're kind of in it, but I think it gets a bit of a bad boy rep, like because it's hardcore
mm,
and it's my favorite style of practice. Like if
yeah,
I these days can find, 90 minutes to do a
yeah,
practice, like Ashtanga is the thing that I do. And I think the way that you teach it is so awesome as well because you've got that traditionality, but you're so open-minded with it, which I think is the fear with Ashtanga that maybe it's too strict and maybe people won't
yeah.
be ready. But I guess
Mm,
it's just reinforcing the message that like you can adapt and it can be for everyone, right?
massive. If I go back to when I first started at 2017 or 20, in fact, I was teaching before that. And I remember John Scott saying to me when I first met him, he said, Ian, he said, I haven't been accredited or anything. He said, his guru said to him, you know the sequence, just go out and teach it. He said, you got the knowledge, share this knowledge. And I thought that's really interesting to say, that is. And when I first started teaching that, I was to the book. I would not let anything go whatsoever. But now, as I've got older,
Mm.
and I've gone to see other senior teachers and that. Some of them are still rigid to the book, but some are playing away, coming away from it. I'm thinking, yeah, this is making sense because we're not built to do yoga. We haven't got a bendy body. The Ashtanga was built for 12-year-olds to 15-year-olds, not for people 45, 50 like me, 60 or whatever. Our bodies aren't bendy like that. So we have to adapt to what our students, who you've got in the class, adapt to where you think that they are or where they feel that they can go on their journey. And that's what I've done. And from that, that's where I've started to enjoy teaching it more
Mm.
because I've adapted it. I've come away from it a little bit and I've started to experience it myself and experience with students and that. Let's have a little play on this today, or let's go down this path. And then you can see them progressing from it as well, because when they are coming to you after 3 years or whatever, and they've got that pose perfect, and all you see is a smile on their face, you go, whoa, you take a breath back, you think, yes, you've got there. Because you've taken your time and you've allowed yourself to get there. And that's really humbling, that is not really, really humbling, especially, when they come up to you after, I've done it, I've got there. Thanks so much for where you've taken me. And that's what it's about. We're taking them on the journey, the same as that what we're going on is a journey. We're going on it all together. And
Yeah.
that's it. And it leads to, like you said, on that path There's no end, but we just keep going, and that's it.
And
Yeah.
it's what it means to them, like off the mat, doesn't it? When they realize, like, if they stick at something, if they commit to it, they can do it.
Yeah.
Like, you see the person
Yeah.
transform, like, not just
Yeah.
their body, not just their ability to do these poses, but their inner strength. And that's what I think is amazing. Like, and the connection that they make with the people along the way. Like, our community is so
Yeah.
tight,
True.
like that group that you teach as well, that it's just incredible the bonds that you make, right?
Yeah. Yes. Amazing. Oh, I like that as well. I mean, even with the Ashtanga of teaching there, it is a dipping in and out with them and that. But I kind of sometimes in a way where sometimes I'll come away from Ashtanga if I need to do a cover class.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, what am I going to do today? And I do wing it whenever I think I see who's in the class. Within 5 minutes, I think, right, this is what we're going to do. And they love it because I do different stuff. And this different stuff is what I've learned from following different teachers and doing their stuff online. I think, oh yeah, I haven't seen this before. Let's go and have a go at this. Let's have a try at this. Sometimes they go, I'll say to them, we're not doing one chaturanga.
Yeah.
What? Not one chaturanga? No, I don't believe you. We won't do one chaturanga either. And they
Yeah.
love it. It's something different. I get excited about that because that's me using my energy, my power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to bring this into you today, guys. You're going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
It's not, we're not going to be killing ourselves, but I just want you to explore the body in a different way. And
That's
that's,
it. And I think that's what comes with the experience of teaching, is being able to read the energy in the room,
yeah, yeah,
know who's in the room, like
yeah,
be able to be playful with it and
yeah,
creative and make
yeah,
it a little bit lighter and funner. And
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
people love, right?
yeah, yeah,
And there's a
definitely.
place for all of it. Like,
Yeah,
sometimes you just want to touch base, you want to go back to that like metronome of the set
yes,
sequence, and other days
yeah,
you just want to play. And I think that's the
yeah,
beauty of the practice, is it offers all
yeah,
of that and everything in between, doesn't it?
yeah. Well,
So
like you said, sorry, that comes like you said with once you've done your 200 hours and you building that confidence up, as the teacher,
yeah.
you're building that confidence of what can I say today, what words can I come out today. And we're not perfect at the end of the day. There'll be sometimes I come out with something, I'll go, oh, that is terrible, come back to where you were, we need to do that again, that is such bad teaching. And they laugh because
Yeah.
we're all human at the end of the day, and it's great to make mistakes. They don't understand that sometimes, but you as a teacher, why not? Is have fun with them as well, and
Totally.
not be too serious.
And like the theme that keeps coming up when I'm like chatting to the teachers at the studio, like
Mm.
what yoga's taught them, what they love about the studio and the community, the word that keeps coming up is this authenticity.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just like learning who you really are and becoming more and more comfortable with yourself through yoga, but also then in your teaching so authentically that when that happens and you're like, oh, no way, that was rubbish, come back.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
everyone's just with you because we're
yeah,
just human and we're being
yeah.
authentic. There's no, facade. Like, it's just come as you are. And I think,
No,
yeah, that's what we all, whatever training we do, that's what I feel we all have in common at the studio, is just this, like, it's a place where you can just come and be who you are, whether you're
yeah,
teaching, whether you're a student. Like, there's just no, yeah, there's no pretenses, right?
no, no. And it's really important as well where someone is coming on the mat for that day, where they may need that space for
Mm.
that. They may need to see a different person for that hour. They may need to have that fulfillment of that they've done a practice to forget what's going on in the outside of that door for that day and that night, fulfill their needs. And that it's some people may need to just come for comfort, to see somebody.
Yeah.
They haven't seen somebody all day, and that's what yoga is about. That yoga, that union of
Mhm.
bringing ourselves together. Of And I wish the whole world would be like that, to be honest. That's what my teacher said. Ty just said, well, I've just seen him now. He says, everything what's going on in the world at the moment, he says, I take no notice of that. He says, I'm glad I'm in the space of where I am of yoga. And that's all he said. He didn't need to say nothing else because you knew what he meant. And that was it. And yeah, very humbling.
Yeah, if yogis could run the world, it'd be a beautiful place.
It'd be brilliant.
One class at a time, we might get there.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll just
yeah.
keep
It'd be
going.
absolutely amazing. Yeah, it is. It is a game changer. And it doesn't need to be asana.
Yeah.
You know, it can be anything. It could be pranayama. It could be meditation. It could be yin. It doesn't need to be physical or anything. There's lots of it all out there now. It's grown and it's growing. It's getting bigger,
Yeah.
and that's the beauty of it. And that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And so, a complete side note, but by trade, what you actually do outside of yoga, what do you do?
I am a master plasterer.
Yes.
So yes, I am a plasterer by trade, which I've been doing for now 38 years. And why I said a master plasterer because I work with lime. I'm a lime specialist. So I work with I do modern stuff as well, but not too much as much in a way. I do lovely little pretty walls. I do Venetian plaster as well, like marbling and all like that. So I'm a very old school plasterer.
It's your art, isn't it?
Yeah, I am a very arty person, like really. Yeah, and sometimes in the arty bit as well, that brings you your it brings you out onto the mat as
Yeah.
well. Your art
Totally.
stuff and
Yeah.
that creativity, and that's what it does as well, like really. So yeah, so that's what I am.
I love that. And I just think it's important to say that because, like listening to you and how far you are down your journey now, and like people walk into your classes and there's opening mantra, a lot of it is taught in Sanskrit, and like we get on the teacher training, this, so you won't be surprised by this, but it's like, Scary Ian came to my class.
And
They have this thing about Scary Ian,
I
which
know, I don't know
always cracks me up.
where has that come from?
I think it's just that when you're teaching, you're very focused. You used to be a lot more like this as well when I was in your classes, and they were like very traditional. And I think you play a little bit more. You've always been playful, but I think for beginners or people who are a little bit intimidated by Ashtanga anyway, and you are the
Yeah,
Ashtanga teacher, and you're
yeah,
male, and you're in great
yeah,
shape, and all of that kind of stuff, people are like a bit intimidated. So this
yeah,
scary Ian thing happens, and I'm always like, guys, look, and that's why I got that amazing photo of you, like doing your ironing, and were you plastering at the same
yeah.
time or something? So good.
Yeah, but do you know what the lovely thing is? Is that when I go to the studio now, and there's new
Yeah.
trainees just come through, I love seeing all of them
Mm.
because obviously my name's been mentioned or whatever. So I think, well, I'm just going to hook up then,
Yeah.
and they probably see my name on the side table and think, oh my gosh, no. But at the end of it, they always come to see me after.
Mm.
Ian, how did I do? And I think, oh, do you know what? That is so lovely. That is. You could be going to anybody, but they always come to Ian. How did you did amazing? Or I give them tips, and I'll go and see him maybe 2 or 3 times, and I'll give them a few little tips and things like that, and they love it. And
Mm.
there's nothing to be ashamed of giving your knowledge to a student that like really, and especially a new student that like really.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important.
It's
But
beautiful. We're so grateful for that. I absolutely love
yeah,
it because, we have you come into our teacher trainings and you teach the
yeah,
Ashtanga and you share a little bit there. And obviously it's a vinyasa training, so I like get you in the bit that I can get you in. And
yeah,
then a lot of them go on to do their mentorship. So it's this idea that it's hard when you start out, when you're trying to find confidence teaching, to then also market your classes and also try and fill the classes. And most people have full-time jobs when they start teaching, so it's really
yeah,
tricky to gain experience when but maybe one or two people are turning up or no one turns up,
yeah,
because marketing it is a big job in itself. So
yeah,
we go, look, the studio's there, the class will be free, so loads of
yeah.
people will come. You also won't get paid, so
No,
there's no pressure either. And some of our most popular classes. It's really interesting because
mm,
I think the public go, oh, it's a free class, oh, it's a trainee, there's no pressure. They
yes.
also really enjoy it. And so these classes work really, really nicely, but they always
Yeah,
love it. I love it when they go, Ian came to my class and he told me this, and I'm like, bless you, because that's
yeah,
your time, and
yeah,
your energy. And it's just so, yeah, it's so kind and so brilliant that you share your
yeah,
wisdom and that it
yeah,
means so much to them. That
yeah.
Scary
No, no,
Ian,
no,
said they're doing
no.
well.
Oh, no, it's good because the thing is, it's like even quite a few students say it to me, or even Jane says it to me, and when I go to another class, whatever, uh, people look at me, think, is he okay? Because whenever I do a class, I am so in my own space
Mm.
that there could be that room could be full,
Yeah.
but there's no one around me.
Mm.
I'm totally focused on where I am, and I think that's probably a lot of it where they get it from, because they can't, they don't see no facial expressions.
Yeah.
I'm just in my own bubble, and
Mm.
that's it. Like, but you're always seeing something on the outside,
Yeah.
seeing what's going on, and that, like, really. So
Yeah.
yeah, but there is that, and they do a very good job up there. To be honest,
Yeah.
they do really well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
big credit to you, really, and
Oh,
your
thank
guys.
you. Oh, it's such
Yeah,
a team effort at the studio, it is,
yeah,
and the training. Like,
yeah,
the live stage I'm in with my two boys, I'll send you a video, make you laugh, where, they're 1 and 4, and it's just chaos. And
yeah, yeah.
I'm just so grateful that we've, got these relationships we've had so long. I trust all of
Mm,
you so implicitly,
yeah,
and I know
yeah,
how invested you are in the community and, the teachers that. Yeah, it's a lovely safe ship these days. So yeah, just really
yeah.
grateful for you as well, Ian, and
Yeah, no worries.
all of your teaching. So thank
Uh,
you. Thanks for today. And
yeah, you're welcome.
yeah, I'll get this
Nice
one
chatting
out.
with you.
People will love to hear your story and hear from you a bit more, and to hear that you're definitely not scary and they can definitely come to Ashtanga.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.